This might be one of my last little yoga sessions with you guys as we're all starting to get ready for re-entry. Today it's gonna be really simple, really gentle, yet it might be challenging to stay in the postures. We may not even get on our feet today, so enjoy the process. Just allow yourself to unwind, unravel, accept new energy, new breath, and let's go ahead and have some fun. If you have a block, you can sit on it like I am. Just come into a nice, comfortable seat. And to your right, go ahead and bring your hands to the thighs. Allowing yourself to just be here, present in your body. Take a big breath in. And a full exhale out. And as you feel the parts of you rooting down into the earth, go ahead and sit up a little bit taller. As you breathe in, feel the spine lengthen. And as you breathe out, just settle into this, let go. Take another big breath in. And a full breath out. Just notice what starts to come up for you. Maybe your mind is starting to race, trying to put all the pieces together, figuring out what the next move will look like, what the next few weeks will bring, what the rest of this year will turn out to be like. And instead, take a big breath in, drop it, let it go. Come back to right here. Right now. Living in this moment. It'll all get figured out. Let's take one more big breath in. And a full exhale out. As you breathe in, sweep the hands all the way up to the sky. As you breathe out, bring the left hand down onto the earth. Reach that right hand to the sky. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lean over to the left. Take another inhale. Allow the right shoulder to open. Exhale, lean a little bit more. And then as you breathe in, come back through center and then lean over to the right. Breathing the left hand high. Breathing out and leaning to the right. Draw that left shoulder back. Breathe in. Exhale, lean a little bit more, and then inhale, come back through center. And taking a twist, right hand outside the left thigh, take a full breath in, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twisting a little bit more. Breathing in, coming back through center. And then left hand to the right thigh, right hand behind, breathing in for length. Exhale, twist a little bit more deeply. Breathing in, gathering the hands at the sky. And then breathing out, thumbs to the third eye, the lips, and then down to the heart. And just enjoying this moment, living your life. Take a full breath in. Audible exhale out. And as you breathe in, sweep the hands up to the sky. Breathing out, thumbs through the midline. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Take one more big breath in. One more big breath out. Bring the hands in front of the shins. Removing the block if you had one. And finding your way to tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Breathing and dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone and the gaze to the sky. Breathing out, rooting down into the hands, tucking the chin and the tailbone down. Inhale, draw the heart through the arms, gaze lift, tailbone lifts. Breathing out, letting it all go, pressing the spine to the sky. One more time, full inhale, allowing the heart to expand, the rib cage to drop and open. Exhaling, really rounding through that spine, chin to chest. One more time, drop the belly, lift the tailbone and the gaze, tuck those toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog, breathing and rising onto the toes. Breathing out, right heel, left knee drop. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, right knee, left heel drop. One more time each side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, knee and heel. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, knee and heel. Find that one more big breath in. Rise onto your toes. Soften the knees. Tilt that tailbone up toward the sky. And then spiral the inner thighs behind you. Allow the heels to drop. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Bring the big toes together to touch. Lift that right leg, bend the right knee, peel that right hip open. Take a peek underneath the left shoulder, check out your toes, maybe check out your lack of a pedicure. We're almost there. Take one more big breath in. Exhaling, drawing the knee towards the nose. Step the right foot all the way through. Bring the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Keep the left hand down on the earth. Reach that right hand all the way up to the sky. Stay here. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Now you have the option to stay and just work on this twist. If you want a little bit more, a couple of options. You could reach the right hand back and scoot around for that left hip. If you want a little bit more, bending the left knee, catching the top of the foot, drawing the heel towards the sits bones. Allowing the hips to drop a little bit deeper. Maybe you spiral the heart a little bit higher. Take one more big breath in. And a full exhale. One more inhale, look over that right shoulder. Exhale, bring that right hand to the inside of that right foot. Wiggle walk the right toes out slightly. Now turn the toes out, the heels in about 45 degrees. Right hand to the inside of that right knee. Start to press the knee away. Just allowing yourself to drop the hips a little bit lower and keep pressing the thigh. A lot of the time we'll take that little bind that we just took, but I want to stay here. Really open up through the front of the left hip flexor. Open her up into the hip. And maybe if you press enough, you can even feel it on the outer edge of that right hip. Take another big breath in. Exhaling, bring the hands to the inside of that right foot, staying here. Maybe hands to a block or some other prop. Maybe forearms down to the block or forearms all the way down to the earth. And breathe. And letting go of any stories, because we are guided by our mind. So the stories we tell ourselves really do shape the future. See if you can just let go and to be. In this moment, there may be unease. It may not be the easiest posture, but see if you can just breathe into it. Find that space where it feels good. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. And then bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders if they came off or out. Tuck the back toes under, lift that left knee. Now listen carefully. Wiggle walk that right foot towards that left wrist. You're gonna come onto the outer edge of that right foot, keeping that right knee wide. So I don't know if you can see, the right knee is still wide, hands are underneath the shoulders. You're slowly gonna take rocks left and right, getting your hips a little bit closer down towards the earth, eventually coming into half pigeon. So you can notice my hip is pretty tight, my heel just came a little bit closer towards that left hip crease. That's totally fine. Tuck the back toes under, lift that left knee, draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, and then release the left knee down, untuck those back toes. Take a full breath in here. Exhaling, slowly coming down, maybe onto your forearms, maybe forearms to a block. Maybe this is your lowest point. You can always grab your block and place your forehead down on it. Just allow the forehead to contact something. If you are coming all the way down, allow your hands to go out in front of you and then release forehead to the earth. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And we will be here for a little bit, so just notice the sensation. Feel the opening in the hips and in the butt. Feel the opening through the front of the left hip flexor. Maybe notice how you're getting tense, how this breath is a little bit shorter. See if you can release a little bit here and there. All we need is purpose and faith, and we'll be able to get ourselves wherever we want to go. So letting go of the negative self-doubt and self-talk. Seeing yourself as beautiful, magical, abundant, enough, worthy, and breathe into this space. Take another big breath in. Another big breath out. Now you have the option to stay here. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch to the front of the left hip flexor, go and come on to those hands once more. Bend the left knee, reach around with the left hand, and start to draw the heel a little bit closer towards the sits bones. Square your shoulders off to the wall in front of you. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Take one more inhale, lift up. Everyone replace the hands down onto the mat. Tuck the back toes under, lift that left knee, step back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a full exhale out. Bring the big toes together to touch. Lift that left leg up behind you. Bend the left knee, peel that left hip open. So the left knee is shooting up toward the sky. You're fairly open through the front side of the body, and then take a peek underneath that right shoulder. Check out your toes. Circle at the ankle, wiggle the toes. Get a little bit of movement in that left foot. Take one more big breath in. Exhaling, draw the knee in towards the chest. Step that left foot to the left thumb. Bring the right knee down, untuck those back toes, and then the right hand stays grounded. Reach the left hand up toward the sky. And again, we have a tendency to dump into this right shoulder. Press down through the hand firmly and press the right shoulder away from the ear. Sweep those left fingertips a little bit higher. Take a big breath in. And again, you have the option to simply reach that left hand back and reach around for the right hip crease, or you can bend that right knee and catch the top of the foot. If you catch the foot, draw towards the sits bones, and then slowly start to spiral your lungs on top of one another, opening up through the front of the chest. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Take one more inhale, lift up. Without slingshotting, slowly release the right foot down. Bring the left toes out slightly to that 45-degree angle. That right hand stays grounded, left hand to the inside of that left knee, and press it away. For some of us, we'll still feel it through the front of the right hip flexor. Most of us will start to feel it in the left hip. And if you press enough without opening up through the chest, maybe you even start to feel it through the outside of that left hip. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Bring the toes back to the front of the mat, and then wiggle walk the foot out just enough to bring the shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Again, we have the option to stay here, long arms, maybe hands in a block, maybe forearms to the block, or forearms all the way down to the earth. And again, just noticing the story, noticing the breath, noticing the moment. And it's so easy to get caught up in all the noise, the self-created noise, the noise outside. But come back to this place where you can work on you. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Another inhale. Another exhale. Take one more breath in. Another breath out. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And then from here, tuck the back toes under, lift that right knee. You're gonna wiggle walk the left foot over towards that right wrist. Coming onto the outer edge of that left foot, you're gonna slowly rock the hips left and right, getting a little bit closer every single rock until you're able to bring the shin down. Again, the foot might adjust, and that's okay. Flex the left toes toward the knee, tuck the back toes under for a moment, draw the right hip forward, left hip back, and bring the right knee down, untuck the toes. You have the option to stay here. Maybe you bring forearms down to the earth, forearms to the block, or releasing all the way down. And again, let go of the noise. The moment you start to feel yourself getting pulled into another direction in thought, replace it with positive. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, this is super painful, think, oh my gosh, I need this stretch so much. Oh my goodness, this is so good for myself. This is self-care and self-love. My mobility matters. My health matters. There's so many ways to replace that one negative thought. There are trillions of ways to replace it with a positive one. So stay with that. Take another breath in. And another breath out. And instead of holding on to the tension, maybe you flip your palms up, just really letting go, allowing yourself to fully release. Take another breath in. And another breath out. And if this feels perfect, I invite you to stay. If you want to take the front of the hip stretch, go ahead and bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Keep rooting down into that left hand, bend the right knee, reach around with the right hand, start to draw that heel towards that sits bone. Square the shoulders off for the wall in front of you. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Take one more inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Come onto that left sits bone. Swing that right leg around, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out nice and wide. You can interlace the hands underneath the edges of the feet. Sitting up nice and tall, take a full breath in. And if this is enough, you can stay right here, but you want to think about drawing the heart forward, not rounding through the spine, but really drawing the heart through the arms and hinging from that space. Maybe you're able to hinge enough to use your elbows to pry the knees open a little bit more and just feel that sensation in the inner thighs. We've all been sitting a lot, whether we're sitting at home because we're working from home or we're hanging out on the couch. Maybe you've taken up a little bit more hiking, so the front of the hip flexors are getting a little bit more work, but wherever you are, just kind of notice, breathe. Again, let go of the story. It just is what it is. Take another breath in. And another breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then from here, slowly sitting back up. Bring the knees together. Allow the feet to go about hip width distance apart and just bring your hands behind the hips, crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. We're gonna allow the right knee to open up to the side. This might be enough where you're just kind of opening up through the hip. You'll feel it behind the glutes maybe if you're super tight. If you have a little bit more room, you can start to walk your hands towards your sits bones and walk your sits bones towards that left heel. You wanna keep your butt grounded and the right knee pressing out to the side. The right toes are flexed, allowing the foot to be towards the camera maybe, or that side wall. And if you still have room and your butt's all the way to the heel, you can press the shoulders up towards that shin. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Take another inhale. And another exhale. And then slowly walking your bum back. Release that right foot down. And take your feet about mat width distance apart. Allow the right knee to kind of land inside the arch of the left foot and the left knee to come down. And inhaling, coming back through center, and then switch. Left knee inside the right heel, or the right arch of the foot, right knee down. One more time on either side. Yeah, just noticing any sensations in the psoas and the hips. Noticing how it feels to kind of move in this unnatural pattern. All right, and then coming back through center, bring the feet back to hip width distance apart. This time crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. Flex the left toes towards that left knee. Again, you can stay here. You can start to walk the hips closer, maybe drawing the shoulders even closer towards the shin. And again, just hanging out, noticing the sensation. Really nowhere to go, just allowing ourselves to be. So we do tend to store a lot of emotions in our hips, so we're getting rid of this. We're allowing ourselves to just start fresh. Just create space for something new. And notice when we're not working on balancing on like 5% of our body, the quiet. And how we choose to fill the quiet. Because most of us don't want to sit with the quiet, so we do choose to fill it. Just notice. From here, slowly start to walk the hips back. We'll take that little hip stretch one more time. Feet go wide. And this time, take the knees over to the left first. Then take them over to the right. One more time, over to the left. Oh, there must be something exciting outside. Over to the right. And coming back through center. Go ahead and bring your knees in towards the chest. If you have a block towel or a pillow, go ahead and grab it, bring it with you. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a great big squeeze. Holding on to the right knee, extend that left leg long, and then pull down on that shin first. Notice the sensation in the hip when we simply pull that shin down. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale. And taking the twist, so we're going to pop up onto the outer edge of that left hip and allow the right knee to go over the right shoulder to stay grounded. The gaze falls over that right shoulder. And then breathe here. Two more breaths. One more big breath in. Full exhale out. And then come back through center. Bring both knees in towards the chest. And then holding onto the left knee, extend that right leg long out in front of you. Interlace the hands on top of the shin. Keep the right toes and the left toes flexed, but pull down on that shin. Notice anything in the hip. We're working on the colon as well with these, so the ascending on the right, descending on the left. When we squeeze the knees in, both of them, that's transverse. So we are working quite a few things, even though it's a simple passive posture. And then from here, allowing the toes to come down, we're gonna hop onto that outer edge of that right knee, or right hip. Allow the left knee to go all the way over to the side. Left shoulder down, allow the hand to release, and gaze over that left shoulder. We're here for about 5 breaths, so just allow yourself to breathe deeply. And exhale fully. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. Two more. Take one more inhale. Full exhale. And bringing the knees back in towards your chest. Give them a nice tight squeeze. Really pulling the knees down. Yeah, working that transverse colon for a moment. And then from here, grab that pillow, that blanket, your block, and just slide it underneath the hips the flattest way, but a little bit of elevation. Go ahead and tuck the shoulder blades under, palms spin up to receive. And then allow the feet to go up toward the sky. Just a very nice passive inversion. Allowing the lymph to drain back towards the body. Closing your eyes. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just breathing and being here. Something so beautiful and simple about allowing yourself to slow down, to breathe, to be. Quieting the body, quieting the mind. And slowly inviting little wiggles into the feet. Maybe you circle out the ankles, get rid of any snap, crackles, and pops. And then from here, rebending the knees, allowing the feet to hit the earth, lifting the hips, removing your block pillow blanket, bring the knees in towards your chest one more time. If you want to take a happy baby, it'll fit in right here. So bending the knees towards the armpits, flexing the feet up toward the sky, and rocking and rolling left and right. We want to get into the hamstrings. We really didn't get into those today except for down dog. So you can work on straightening one leg and then the other, maybe both. And then releasing the feet, bringing the knees back in towards the chest. Give yourself a great big squeeze. Lifting the forehead up to the knees. Squeeze the muscles, feet, calves, hands, arms. Scrunch up your nose. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. Legs go long, feet flop open to the side. Palms spin up to receive. Take one more big intentional breath in. As you believe, so it shall be done unto you. Start to deepen the breath. Finding small movements in the fingers and in the toes. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly start to bend the knees, rolling onto either side. Just pausing for a moment. Recognizing that your thoughts define your future. They define who you are today. So speak kindly to yourself. Create dreams that fulfill you. When the mind starts to go negative, fill it with those trillion of positive thoughts. And allowing that top hand to come down onto the earth, press your way up to a comfortable seat. Inviting the hands together at the heart center. Acknowledging the power within yourself. your thoughts, your words truly create your experience. Take a big breath in. Full exhale out. Bring the thumbs to the third eye center. The light in me honors the light within you. Together we bow and say, Namaste.